Every Linsanity run in NBA history, man, explain, bro. Look, like, comment, subscribe. Y'all already know what to do, man. I'm on a road to 5K subs, so, man, hit that sub button, man. Turn me up, man. We might be doing a giveaway at 5K, so, hey, tune in. But look, shout out to ISO Jack for the video, though, for sure. But look, let's go
Linsanity run in NBA history explained. Number 11, the Mike James season. We start with the longest short run on the list. Usually these hot streaks last a week.
Like that,
Mike James decided to stay hot for an entire year. The year was 2006. The Toronto Raptors were abysmal. They finished 27-55. Vince Carter was gone. Chris Bosh was young. Enter Mike James. James was a journeyman point guard. He had played for 4 teams in 4 years. He was undrafted. He was 30 years old. His career average was about 9 points per game. But in the 2005-2006 season, something clicked. Mike James decided he was the best scorer on the planet. He didn't just play well, he turned into a flamethrower. He averaged 20.3 points per game for the entire season. He shot 44% from three-point range, which was top 5 in the league at the time. He had games of 39 points against the Pistons, 38 against the Sixers, and 36 against the Nets. He started yelling at everyone. He called himself the Amityville Scorer.
The Amityville Scorer? That was a nasty nickname, but bro, he went from 9 points a game to 20 points a game?
He took shots that would get most players benched, and he buried them. The Raptors were bad, but James was appointment television. At the time, he was the only undrafted player in NBA history to average 20 points per game for a full season. Then, the clock struck midnight. He signed a contract with Minnesota the next year, dropped back to 10 points a game, and bounced around 6 more teams before retiring. But for that one weird year in Toronto, Mike James was basically Damian Lillard. Number 10, the Flip Murray month. Go back to 2003, the Seattle Supersonics. Ray Allen, the franchise savior, was out with an ankle injury to start the season. The Sonics needed a warm body to play shooting guard. They turned to Ronald Flip Murray, a guy from Division II Shaw University who had played a total of 26 minutes the previous season. Expectations were 0. Then the ball went up. In the season opener against the Clippers, Murray dropped 24 points. A nice story. 2 days later, he dropped 22 on the Phoenix Suns. Then the explosion happened. On November 5th, he scored 29 points. On November 7th, against the Heat, he put up 31. He was absolutely cooking people. He had a slippery, hesitation-heavy game that defenders couldn't track. He looked like a street ball legend who wandered onto an NBA court. For the first month of the season, which was roughly 11 games, Flip Murray averaged 23.4 points per game. Sports Illustrated ran a piece asking if he was the next big thing. Then Ray Allen came back. Murray went to the bench, his minutes dropped, his rhythm broke, and he turned back into a solid role player. He played 7 more seasons, but he never put up the same numbers again. For 4 weeks in Seattle, Flip Murray was the best shooting guard in the world. Number 9, the Sundiata Gaines moment. This is the shortest run on the list, but it has the highest aura per minute.
If he gonna say highest aura, it gotta be aura. Bro, I must don't know ball, because I don't even know this. Who?
It's January 2010. The Utah Jazz are dealing with injuries to Darren Williams. They are desperate. They signed Sundiata Gaines to a 10-day contract. Gaines was a D-League guy. He had been cut by 3 teams. He literally removed his D-League jersey, flew to Salt Lake City, and put on a Jazz uniform. 5 days into his 10-day contract, LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers came to town. This was peak MVP LeBron. The Cavs were a juggernaut. Gaines checked in. Nobody knew who he was. The announcers were reading his bio from a sheet of paper during the broadcast. He played out of his mind. He scored 9 points in 21 minutes playing tough defense, but the game came down to the final seconds. The Jazz were down 2, 5 seconds left. The ball gets knocked loose. It ends up in the hands of Sundiata Gaines. He's 24 feet out. Gaines pulls up and the buzzer sounds. He banged it. It is one of the most violent swishes in NBA history. The crowd exploded. Gaines was mobbed by teammates who had met him 72 hours earlier. LeBron walked off the court looking stunned. Gaines signed a contract for the rest of the season. He never really did anything else in the NBA. He played 32 total games for the Jazz, but he hit a walk-off buzzer beater in the face of the king on a 10-day contract. That is
in the face of the king on a 10-day. Hey, that might be better than Linsanity. Come on, you in a jumper in the face of like. That's not better than Linsanity? Y'all let me know in the comments. What y'all think? That might be A.
Immortality.
All
Number
right.
8,
Say
the
no.
Andre Ingram debut. Now this one really hits the emotions. Andre Ingram spent 10 years in the
Andre
G
Ingram.
League, a full decade. He played
I
nearly
remember Andre.
400 games in empty gyms in front of 200 people. He tutored kids in math on the side to pay his rent. He had gray hair on his beard. On April 19th, 2018, the Los Angeles Lakers called him up. They were out of the playoffs. The season was meaningless and they wanted to do a solid for the G League vet. He was 32 years old. He was the oldest American rookie since 1964. He checked in against the Houston Rockets, the best team in the league that year, led by Chris Paul and James Harden. Ingram went nuclear. He hit his first shot, then a three, then another three. By the fourth quarter, the Staples Center crowd, which has seen Magic, Kobe, and Shaq, was chanting MVP for a 32-year-old rookie with gray hair. Ingram finished with 19 points. He shot 4 for 5 from deep. He didn't miss a shot until the final minutes. The Lakers lost the game, but nobody cared. Chris Paul stayed after the game to hug him and tell him he respected the grind. Ingram played one more game that season, then went back to the G League. That one night in April was the payoff for a decade of work. Number 7, Lester Hudson. The 2012 Cleveland Cavaliers were a tragedy. LeBron was in Miami winning rings, while Kyrie Irving was a rookie but kept getting hurt. The team was actively trying to lose games. Enter Lester Hudson. Hudson was a shooting guard who had bounced around the league. The Cavs signed him late in the season, essentially to fill a roster spot. For 3 weeks, Lester Hudson became the ghost of Michael Jordan. It started on April 8th against the Nets, 26 points. 2 days later versus the Hornets, 19 points. The next night versus the Pacers, 19 again. Then he leveled up. Versus the Magic, he had 25. 2 days later, he put up 23 on the Pistons. And then the very next night, he put up 23 on the Sixers. He had at least 23 points in 3 straight games.
I'm thinking, when he say the ghost of Michael Jordan, I'm thinking he about to go for 40s. Come on now, you can't be.
He was hitting step-back threes. He was driving into traffic and finishing through contact. He averaged 23 points, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists over that stretch. The Cavs fans who had absolutely nothing to cheer for started bringing Lester Sanity signs into the arena. He was scoring so much, he was actually hurting the tank. The front office probably panicked. The season ended. Hudson wasn't resigned. He went to China, where he became an absolute legend, winning MVP awards and championships in the CBA. He found his kingdom. But for 3 weeks in Ohio, he was the king. Number 6. The Michael Carter Williams debut. Most Linsanity runs
I remember
happened
this.
Mid-season. This one happened on day 1, October 30th, 2013. The Philadelphia 76ers opened their season against the Miami Heat. The Heat were the defending champions. LeBron, Wade, Bosh, at the peak of their powers. The Sixers were predicted to be the worst team in NBA history. They were starting a skinny rookie point guard named Michael Carter Williams. The betting line was Miami by double digits. It was supposed to be a slaughter. Instead, MCW produced the greatest debut in the history of the sport. He came out flying. He was 6'6" and getting into every passing lane. He was dunking in transition. He was hitting threes, which he couldn't actually do. By the fourth quarter, the Heat looked confused. MCW finished with 22 points, 12 assists, 7 rebounds, and 9 steals.
I thought he had a trip dog.
9 steals in his first NBA game against LeBron James. The Sixers, the Wells Fargo Center, melted down. For the first week of that season, MCW was the best player in the league. He won Rookie of the Year, but he never reached that height again. His jump shot broke. He got traded, he became a defensive role player, but he peaked in game 1, and it was an insane peak. Number 5, the Yogi Ferrell Yogi Mania. The Dallas Mavericks were dead in the water in 2017. They needed a point guard. They called up Yogi Ferrell from the D-League on a 10-day contract. Ferrell was undersized and went undrafted out of Indiana. The Brooklyn Nets had cut him earlier that season. He played his first game on January 29th. He scored 9 points. Solid. The next night, he dropped 19 in a win over the Cavs. Okay, now we're listening. Then came the Portland game, February 3rd, 2017. The Mavs were playing the Blazers. It was a shootout. Yogi Ferrell went absolutely berserk. He hit 9 3-pointers and scored 32 points. With the game tied in the final minute, he pulled up from way downtown and drilled the dagger. He finished the 10-day contract averaging 17 points and 5 assists. Mark Cuban didn't even wait. The next day, he signed Ferrell to a 2-year deal. Yogi Mania shirts were printed. Ferrell stuck around the league for a few years, but he never had a run like that again. For 2 weeks, he was the most exciting little man in basketball. Number 4, the Cam Thomas heat check. This is the most recent one on the list. February 2023. The Brooklyn Nets were collapsing. Kyrie Irving demanded a trade.
40. Just so y'all know, he a part of Ball Hog University. That is my university. He a part of Ball Hog Center. He the CEO of it. Okay.
And got sent to Dallas. Kevin Durant was sitting out, waiting to be traded to Phoenix.
40.
The Big Three era was over. The roster was depleted. Cam Thomas, a second-year guard who had mostly ridden the bench, looked around and said, "I guess I'll shoot." On February 4th, he dropped 44 points on the Wizards. Then on February 6th, he dropped 47 on the Clippers. And then the next night, on the 7th, he dropped 43 on the Suns. 3 straight games of 40-plus points. He became the youngest player in NBA history to score 40 in...
What did I say? James Durant. Now put Cam Thomas. I'm telling you.
3 straight games. It was pure, uncut scoring. He wasn't passing. He wasn't really playing any defense either. He was just getting buckets. Tough mid-range pull-ups, deep threes, and crafty finishes. He averaged 44.7 points per game over that 3-game stretch. Once the Nets traded for Mikal Bridges and Cam Johnson, Thompson went back to the bench. His minutes got cut. The run ended as fast as it started. He's still a great scorer, but for 3 days, Cam Thomas was one of the best scorers in NBA history. Number 3. Bubble TJ Warren. The Orlando bubble was a weird place. No fans, giant screens, Disney World hotels. Some players hated it. TJ Warren turned into prime Larry Bird. Warren was always a solid scorer for the Indiana Pacers, a 15-point per game guy. But when the NBA restarted in the bubble in August 2020, he leveled up. In the very first game of the restart against the Philadelphia 76ers, Warren scored 53 points. He shot 20 for 29 from the field. He hit 9 threes. He was mocking Ben Simmons. He was blowing kisses to the virtual fans. He followed that up with 34 points versus the Wizards, 32 points versus the Magic, and 39 versus the Lakers. In the 8 seeding games, he averaged 31 points per game, and he shot 52% from 3. He looked unguardable. His mid-range floater was automatic. Then the playoffs started. The Heat swept the Pacers, and Warren cooled off. Injuries derailed his career after that. He missed almost 2 full seasons with foot problems. But Bubble TJ Warren remains a mythical creature in NBA lore. Number 2, the Billy Ray Bates supernova. We have to go back to the
Billy Ray Bates supernova.
Old days of grainy footage for this one. Billy Ray Bates is the original street ball legend. They called him Black Superman. He didn't play college ball at a major school. He was playing in the Continental Basketball Association for the Maine Lumberjacks when the Portland Trailblazers found him. He was 6'4", built like a linebacker, and had a vertical leap that didn't really make sense. He joined the Blazers late in the 1980 season. He won Player of the Week almost immediately, but his legend was made in the playoffs. In the 1980 playoffs, he averaged 25 points per game. In the 1981 playoffs, he averaged 28.3 points per game. Combined in his brief playoff career, he averaged 26.7 points. He was dunking on Kareem. He was unstoppable. But Bates had demons. Drug and alcohol issues cut his NBA career short. He was out of the league by 1983. He went to the Philippines and became a god there, literally a pop culture icon. But his NBA window was tiny. For those 2 postseasons, though, there was nobody more electric. Number 1. The original Linsanity.
That boy right
here we are. The prototype, the name on the trophy for the video. You know the story, but you need to remember how it really felt. February 2012. The New York Knicks were a disaster. 8-15 record. Carmelo Anthony was hurt. Amari Stoudemire was hurt. Coach Mike D'Antoni was about to get fired. Jeremy Lin was sleeping on his brother's couch on the Lower East Side. He had been cut by the Warriors and the Rockets. He was the 15th man on the roster. On February 4th, against the New Jersey Nets, D'Antoni put him in out of desperation. Lin scored 25 points and dished out 7 assists.
He was cooking Darren Williams.
Everybody said it was a fluke. 2 nights later, against the Utah Jazz, he had 28 points and 8 assists. The Knicks won again. The very next night, against the Wizards, he had 23 and 10, and guess what? The Knicks won again. Now the media is swarming at this point. It's becoming a thing. February 10th, the Lakers come to Madison Square Garden. Kobe Bryant is asked about Lin. He says, "I don't even know what he's done." Jeremy Lin went out and dropped 38 points on Kobe's head. He hit a spinning fadeaway over Derek Fisher. He hit pull-up threes.
He was going stupid.
He outscored Kobe, who had 34. The Garden was shaking. Then, February 14th, Toronto. It was a tie game. In the final seconds, Lin waved off his teammates. He held the ball at the top of the key
on some
and
Kyrie
for 3. Bang. Game winner. The Knicks had won 7 in a row. For that stretch of roughly 3 weeks, Jeremy Lin was one of the most famous athletes on earth. He was even on the cover of Asia's Time magazine. His stats during the peak, 26.8 points per game and 8.5 assists. But it was more than stats. It was an Asian American guy from Harvard who nobody wanted, dominating the sport at its highest level at Madison Square Garden. The run ended, Melo came back, and the chemistry got weird. Lin got hurt, and he left for Houston in the summer. But he did have a solid career. He won a ring as a backup in Toronto, but he never became a superstar. But it didn't matter. Those 3 weeks in February 2012 were the greatest individual run in regular season history.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Maybe not from a statistical standpoint, but Linsanity was one of the coolest regular season moments in NBA.
That's a fact. That's a fact. He ain't lying about that, bro. I remember Linsanity. I remember where I was at and everything, bro. That was tough. I wanted him to go for 50 every game, bro. I was waiting on him to go for 50 every game. I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. But look, man, if y'all like videos like this, man, y'all want more videos like this, man, let me know in the comments. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to ISO Jack for the VA. Fire VA. But I'm seeing y'all in the next one, man. No cap.